Found out my 33-year-old wife of 2 years cheated on me during the first year of dating. We've been together for about 6 years, met in Mile High City over mutual friends, and started dating a couple months in. We were quite close. We would hang out often. A lot of cuddles and kisses. I never suspected anything because we were quite close. We were both still going out from time to time, sometimes together, sometimes alone with friends, and then we would just meet up at the end of the night and go home. I had some attractive female friends at the time, but I cut them off since I did not want to make her feel insecure. She was very well aware I did this, and also the reasoning why. We dated for about 3-4 years before getting married. After getting married, I once jokingly bluffed and said, "Hey, I know you cheated on me," staring her in the eyes for a while with a slight smile. She broke down and started crying, admitting to me she cheated. I was in shock, never suspected it, nor did I expect it. I pushed to see how long the thing went on for. She kind of admitted it happened for a year. I never really asked for details, who and what, thinking it will just be worse for me knowing the details. One thing I'm fairly confident about is that she never had intimacy with him then. She is also fairly religious, the type that goes to church often. Maybe that's another reason why it was a shock for me finding out. The only thing that could have predicted this was that she mentioned few times during our first year of dating that it takes her a while to fall in love with someone. Strangely, I did not care all that much at the time, not sure why, but I just felt like it was a while back, and I just did not have energy for drama at the time. So I kind of got over it, plus maybe also because I knew she did not have intimacy. She said the reason why was because she always suspected I was cheating on her too, because I was attractive, etc., which sounded like nonsense to me, especially because I went out of my way to cut out attractive female friends, so she would not feel insecure. But I just accepted it to avoid drama. Another was that she needed to get it out of her system after being in a long-term relationship. Now we're thinking of having kids, and it's starting to bother me more and more. Every time she gets controlling about me going out with some friends, this anger in me builds up, thinking about what she did and how dare she not trust me when I never did anything to make her think I'm cheating on her. I'm afraid the resentment may grow with time, and I'm getting scared of having kids with her for this reason. I do love her, but I'm a lot more cautious now how much I trust her. Sometimes I wonder if she was in a workplace situation where she clicked with someone over time, whether she'd do it again, how to proceed long term. Updates. Couple more updates to give a wider picture. She got out of a long-distance relationship. She also mentioned that as one of her excuses for cheating was she needed to get it out of her system. There was an incident when a friend of mine came into town 6 months into our relationship. He is a very attractive guy and usually quite friendly with everyone. We went out for a couple of drinks as a group. She had one too many and couldn't keep her eyes off him. Was staring non-stop and being super friendly, a bit touchy when they had a convo. Also, this wasn't a normal stare. It would be like for 4-5 seconds non-stop, even when I could see her. Almost like a lion staring at their prey. Made me feel so uncomfortable. I always regretted not breaking up with her there and then. I brought it up with her a couple of times later on. She made it like I was imagining and had some responses like, if I wanted him, I wouldn't be with you, etc. Which was also nonsense, but I just let it go. I guess I never cared because she gave me all the attention. Wanted me to have her Facebook, Instagram, wanted to spend every minute with me, every day. She was an open book later on after that year has passed before I even knew she did anything. I was the one that wanted more privacy. Update 2. Thinking some more about it. I think I got over it because I later learned that she became an open book about everything, wanting me and pushing forward to have all her social media passwords, etc. This naturally instilled trust. This was before I found out about cheating, which I did not accept because it felt like a bit of a trap. Hey, have mine, then you must give me yours. I just like my privacy, even though I do not think there's much to hide. Why am I bringing this now, and why is it bothering me now? I think it may also have something to do with us constantly fighting, her trying to be more controlling and running away from responsibilities, having a little understanding and looking to drain my energy in different ways. It all sounds a bit manipulative from her side, and it drains the hell out of me. So I may be bringing this up now to have another reason to exit altogether. If I add the cheating to all these problems in the relationship, it builds up a good case for an exit. I think I may need to have a sit down and find out all the details after all. Thanks for all the support. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. How do you know they did not have intimacy? Because she told you? She did not tell you about any of this for how long? Meaning she made sure the two of you were married before you had all the facts. She was going to take this to her grave. Therefore, she does not respect you, not enough anyway. Forget having any kids with her. I would think long and hard about staying with her at all. Comment 2. Do not have kids with her. That will not make this magically go away. You guys need counseling first to see if you two can get past this, but if she has this controlling behavior after she cheated on you, I'd be pretty wary of staying in this marriage. I mean, God forbid she thinks you're cheating on her with a coworker or something and decides to cheat on you again. Now, for the update, thanks for sticking around. So, the past 2 weeks have been very eventful and not the fun kind. Remember how I said things were bothering me more? Well, they escalated. 2 weeks ago, I found out she's been lying again. This time, about money. She took out a credit card in my name, maxed it out. I only found out because the bank called about missed payments. I was furious, felt betrayed all over again. It's like the cheating wasn't enough. Now she's messing with our future, our financial stability. I confronted her. She cried, said she felt trapped by our budget, wanted to feel free. I couldn't believe it. After all the trust issues, she pulls this. I wanted to walk away right then. But then she dropped another shocker. She's pregnant. I was stunned. A part of me wondered if it was even true or just a ploy to keep me around. But I saw the test, the doctor's note. It's real. I felt trapped, like I had no good options. Leaving now would make me the bad guy, abandoning her and our unborn child. Staying meant living with this resentment, this lack of trust. I felt weak, desperate even. I forgave her again. I don't even know if I meant it, but what choice did I have? But that's not all. Last week, her sister called me. Turns out my wife's been talking to her ex, the one she cheated on me with. Her sister overheard a conversation, felt I should know. I was livid. It's like every time I think we've hit rock bottom, we find a new low. I confronted her again. She admitted it, said she was just seeking closure, that it meant nothing. I didn't know what to believe. I felt like a fool, like I'd been played this whole time. I wanted to scream, to leave, but I looked at her growing belly, and I just deflated. I told her this was her last chance, that I couldn't go through this again. Now, I'm just trying to pick up the pieces. I'm watching her, waiting for the next lie, the next betrayal. I'm trying to prepare for this baby, our baby. But it's hard. The trust is gone, and I don't know if it can ever come back. I'm just going through the motions, hoping for a miracle, that maybe this baby will make things better, fix what's broken. But deep down, I know that's not how it works. Thanks for reading. My partner cheats while I'm 8 months pregnant, and his mistress won't stop harassing us. So I kicked out my scheming cousin and made sure the homewrecker faced the full force of the law, with a restraining order. To start with, I'm currently 8 months pregnant. I know, stress isn't good for the baby, but it was all so sudden. Basically, my partner just confessed about cheating on me just a few days ago. This cheating started about 3 or 5 months ago. We'll elaborate on this later. Bottom line is, I had a feeling he was doing something bad behind my back. But I was hoping it was just sexting and was planning to confront him after I give birth, which is in this coming May. He beat me to it, and I never expected that it was so severe, because he went all the way. One reason for this is because he knew that my father cheated on my mom, and I ended up having a stepbrother. It was a traumatic experience. Anyways, he couldn't take the guilt anymore, and confessed to me what he did. He's very remorseful and ashamed of what he did and wanted to work it out with me. After some thought, I agreed and decided to give us another go, for the baby as well. I have a problem with the other woman, though. She wouldn't stop contacting my partner, and I want to know if I should reach out instead and tell her to stop so we can fix our marriage. For some context, last October 2023, we found out we were expecting. We were thrilled because we've been trying for 6 months prior. We were close to visiting a fertility clinic. Then, fast forward to today, my partner confessed to cheating on me, and it started last November. At that time, he started chatting with other women online. Then, one of those girls took an interest in him and started seeing him. They went on dates, nothing physical. Then, a month later, that girl found out about me and the baby. So, they broke it off. My partner thought that was that and stopped the chatting altogether and focused on me and the baby, while keeping all of this a secret from me, by the way. A few days after that, though, still in December, the girl chatted him back and just wanted to be friends. I don't know what kind of messed up friendships she has, because this led to them dating and going all out. It became physical. To put more context into this, the other party is a 20-year-old working student, and she had been eager to leave her home and wanted to rent an apartment of her own. The thing is, my partner has a nice stable job. I do too, but despite him earning more money than I do, we still split the bills 50-50ths. So my partner is left with a lot of extra money. The girl had asked to look for an apartment for the two of them with him. I guess this is when my husband got scared into telling me. The day he confessed, I first told my family I honestly felt bad about telling my mom, because I saw in her eyes that she sort of relived the time my dad cheated on her. Afterwards, I told my husband's family. His family are lovely people. They love me and do not tolerate what he did, which I'm ever so thankful for. Me, my partner, his family, and my family all talked about it, and both parties agreed to give it another go. I wasn't forced, in case you're wondering. My partner cut all ties with the girl, gave me complete access to his phone and bank account. His idea, by the way. And all has been good since then. Earlier today, my husband told me that the girl still calls him. She was already blocked, but he'd get notifications that a phone call was blocked, and it was her number. She called him 4 times yesterday and 3 times today. I'm just pissed off at this point and want to tell her to F off, but I don't know if it's a good idea. Any suggestions on how to go about this? Thank you. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. You can't fix your marriage. Put that fantasy out of your mind. You married a cheater. He will continue to cheat over and over and over. That's what he's hardwired to do. My partner cut all ties with the girl. Gave me complete access to his phone. Too little. Too late. And meaningless. Because sooner or later, he'll get another mistress, another phone. My partner is left with a lot of extra money. Excellent. He won't have any problems paying child support once you've divorced him, and then his affair partner won't be your problem anymore. Comment 2. Girl, he cheated on you right after you got pregnant. What a disrespectful prick. There's no saving your marriage, and he only confessed out of guilt or because he wanted to beat AP to the jump. Do you and that baby a favor and leave his cheating butt. Y'all can still co-parent, so don't give excuses about staying together for the child, because that won't work either. Trust me, been there. Found out my ex cheated right after I gave birth to our second child. Now, for the update. Thanks for all the support on my last post. It's been a chaotic week. So, my partner's affair partner, the 20-year-old, she's gone off the deep end. She's been calling non-stop, even showing up at his work. It's like she's obsessed or something. We thought blocking her would be the end of it, but nope, she's relentless. My partner's been stressed and I've been a mess. The baby's due soon, and this is the last thing we need. I've been thinking about reaching out to her, but I'm not sure if that's just going to make things worse. Now, let me tell you about my partner's cousin, Mike. He's always been the kind of guy who stirs the pot, you know? He's been staying with us for a couple of months because he got kicked out of his place. I never liked the guy much, but now he's really crossed the line. Yesterday, I overheard him talking to my partner, saying stuff like, "Man, you should have kept it on the down low." And, "If you're gonna cheat, at least do it right." Can you believe that? Here I am trying to keep my family together, and he's giving my partner tips on how to cheat better. And it gets worse. Mike's been talking to the girl behind our backs. Turns out, he's been egging her on, telling her my partner still has feelings for her and that I'm just the baby mama he's stuck with. I found out because I saw texts on my partner's phone from her saying Mike told her all this stuff. I confronted Mike and he just shrugged, said he was helping out a friend in need. What a load of crap. He's just jealous because he's never had a stable relationship in his life. He's always been the one to mess things up for himself. And now he's trying to mess things up for us too. So I told my partner Mike had to go. He wasn't happy about it, but he agreed. Mike packed his bags last night, cursing us out, saying we'd regret this. I've never been so glad to see someone leave. But here's the kicker. Today, the girl showed up at our doorstep. She was crying, saying she was sorry and that she didn't know Mike was lying to her. She thought my partner was playing me and that they were going to be together. I was furious, but I kept my cool for the baby's sake. I told her straight up that she needed to move on, that my partner and I were working things out and that she was just making things harder for everyone. She left finally, but not before she threw a rock through our living room window. So much for being sorry. The police came, we filed the report, and now there's a restraining order in place. My partner's been quiet since then. I think he's finally realizing the mess he's caused. He's been trying to make it up to me, doing everything he can to prepare for the baby's arrival. It's been tough, dealing with all this drama while getting ready to be a mom. But I'm hanging in there. I've got my family, my partner's family, and a few close friends who've been my rock through all this. I'm just hoping that's the last we'll see of her and that Mike keeps his distance. I want to focus on the future, on our baby, and on rebuilding the trust in our relationship. It's going to be a long road, but I'm ready for it. Thanks for reading. My girlfriend sleeps through our breakfast date, then spreads nasty rumors. So I lock down my accounts and leave her to drown in her own lies. I just really need an outside opinion on this. I'm extremely sad, stressed out, and confused. I have a presentation due in like 2 hours, and I can't get my mind off this, so last night I asked my girlfriend if she wanted to meet up for breakfast. I told her I was going to go to the dining hall around 9 a.m. and stay there until my class at 11 a.m. to eat and drink coffee and do some work. She said, cool, I'll meet you there at 10 a.m. I end up crawling out of bed a little later than I had hoped, but I get to the dining hall at around 9:45 and shoot her a text that I'm there. No response. 10 a.m. rolls around quickly, and I'm slamming coffee and doing work. I wait until around 10:15 and start wondering where she is. I figured these are 3 possibilities. She got up, turned her alarm off, then went back to bed. Her phone is dead. She forgot to set the alarm. Not a big deal. I'm only going to be there for another 30 minutes. I'm doing work. She doesn't even have classes today, and she's had a rough week, so I just thought, cool, she deserves to sleep in today. She sleeps until like 1:15 p.m. She tries to call me, but I'm in class. She texts me that she's sorry. Then after I didn't reply for a few minutes, again I was in class, she texts me. It feels like you didn't want me there at all. Why would you only send me one text and not try to call me and wake me up? I call her when I'm out of class. She sounds mad on the phone. She confirms she's mad I didn't call her to wake her up. I ask why she's mad at me, if she's the one who slept through breakfast. She insists that she would have done the same for me, and that I didn't want her there, which doesn't make sense because why would I even invite her? I try to explain that I figured either her phone was dead, calling wouldn't work, or that she turned the alarm off and went to sleep, which in that case, I just wanted to let her sleep. She rudely says, that's your opinion. Like, what? At this point, I just felt dejected and not really listened to, so I sarcastically said, sorry for not calling and waking you up. Then she says something along the lines of, fuck you for real, bye, then hangs up. Literally yesterday. We just had a conversation about how it makes me feel when she says shoot like that to me, especially during minor disagreements. I am extremely sad at this point. I'm a pretty fortunate person. My family never talked to me like that, and my friends only say stuff like that in jest. For someone who used to pride himself on being thick-skinned, it is surprisingly hurtful to have a loved one talk to you like that. 20 minutes later, she calls again. She says she's mad at me. I say, okay. She says, is that all you have to say? I say, well, you said frick you, and hung up on me when I was trying to talk about it earlier. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say. She says, I said that because you weren't being genuine. Why would you say sorry like that? Don't say sorry if you're not sorry. I say, well, okay, I'm not sorry. She says, okay, bye, and then hangs up again. An hour later, she texts me that we're done and tells me to pick up my stuff on Monday and drop hers off. Can someone please give me an outside opinion on this? Was I in the wrong here? I don't really talk to my friends and family about my relationship issues because I don't want to paint her in a negative light or anything. Now, for a few comments before the update. Comment 1. She was looking for a reason to break up. She is either tired of you or has her eye on someone else. Please pick up your stuff and drop hers off with no communication. Don't try to get closure. Don't take her back if she has changed her mind. Someone rejected her. She has no respect for you and obviously no love. You deserve better. Exchange stuff and then block her on everything. Are you sure she is not 12? Comment 2. She messed up and she's trying to blame you for it. Good on you for not falling into the trap. This is high school levels of immaturity from her. You want to be an adult, then learn basic adulting, such as being responsible for getting your own butt out of bed if you have an appointment. She's not a child and you're not her mom. Now for the update, thanks for sticking around. You wouldn't believe the roller coaster these past 2 weeks have been. After that whole breakfast fiasco, things just spiraled. I thought the worst was over, but boy, was I wrong. The Monday she told me to pick up my stuff, I went over to her place. I was hoping we could talk it out, but she wasn't having any of it. She had my things packed in a box by the door. I tried to have a conversation, but she just handed me the box and closed the door on me. I left her stuff on her porch, not wanting to make things worse. But here's where it gets crazy. The next day, I find out she's been spreading rumors about me, saying I was the one who was too controlling, that I was the one who always started fights. It was like she was trying to justify the breakup by painting me as the bad guy. I couldn't believe it. People I didn't even know were looking at me funny, and friends were asking what was going on. I kept my cool, though. I didn't want to stoop to her level. I just told my side to those who asked and left it at that. But then, she took it a step further. She hacked into my social media accounts. I don't know how she got my passwords, but she did. She started posting all sorts of nonsense, trying to make me look bad. It was a mess. I had to spend hours getting control of my accounts back and explaining to everyone that it wasn't me posting that stuff. I was at my wit's end. I felt like everything was falling apart, but I had to keep it together. I had presentations, papers, and exams to focus on. I couldn't let her drama derail my entire semester. And then, just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, she shows up at my dorm out of the blue. She's crying, saying she made a huge mistake, that she wants to get back together. I was stunned. After everything she did, she wanted to pretend like none of it happened. I told her I needed time to think, that I couldn't just jump back into a relationship after all the chaos. I spent the next few days really thinking about what I wanted. I talked to my friends and family, despite not wanting to drag them into this. They all said the same thing, that I deserved better, that I should focus on myself. And they were right. So I met up with her one last time. I told her that I couldn't do it anymore, that the trust was broken, and that I needed to move on. She didn't take it well, but I stood my ground. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but I knew it was the right decision. Since then, things have been quiet. I've been focusing on my studies and spending time with people who build me up, not tear me down. It's been tough, but I'm getting through it. I've learned a lot about myself and what I want in a relationship. I won't settle for less than I deserve. Thanks for reading. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm getting back on track. If you liked this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.